Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Ali Iftikhar. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I have a very special guest with me. She is right beside me virtually on a Zoom call. Her name is Nicole, and she is an awesome salesperson from Canada. And she's a sales trainer. She's been in this business for a long time. So I would invite her onto the screen. And Nicole, hi. Can you please introduce yourself into 3 lines?
Sure, sure. I love doing these videos with you, first of all, on YouTube. They're a lot of fun. I with Prospect to Win. So what that is a lead gen company, sales training, sales consulting. We do different things around B2B sales. And it's been a lot of fun, again, doing these YouTube videos.
Yeah. So, Nick, I've been on Nicole's channel for 2, 3 times. I would leave her channel's link in the description and in the comment section as well. So, I want everybody to go ahead and subscribe. And so, today's video's topic is how a new immigrant comes to Canada thinking all high about Canadian job market, and then he comes to realize that, I was supposed to get a job in the first month in the same level that I was working in my home country, but it turns out that I'm not getting the same job. I'm not getting the same grade, same level. So to struggle with that same level of job, people need to get a few skills set from Canada, maybe through a certification or through a training. So Nicole, what's your take on that? How important is personal development,
It is so important.
personal growth of skill set?
It's frustrating for people, right? Like, it's like, well, I've accomplished this level and now I'm starting all over again from scratch. It's not a very good feeling. So it's just wrapping your head around that and getting some, I would say, number one, interview skills. Get those interview skills sharpened up, because there's language barriers, there's cultural barriers, there's, just get those communication skills up to par. And, a resume isn't enough these days. It's how you speak to people. That's where I would put the focus, and then learn how things are done here in Canada as opposed to, your home country, because it's a totally different experience. Get used to that and then take it from there. Don't skip that part.
Absolutely. And to talk about communication skills, people tend to focus so much on soft skills. I mean, it's a terminology that everybody uses, that
Mhm.
they forget about the importance of communication skill, that communication skills are the best part of those soft skills that one can have. And once you have communication skills, all the other soft skills, they come in handy, they come useful. But if you're bad at communicating with the other person, then maybe that's the core cause of not getting the job that I want, that anybody else in my place, because I am a new immigrant in Canada. Nicole, she's a Canadian. She's born bred in. You live in Toronto, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's from Toronto, and she has a better understanding of the corporate world sitting inside Toronto and looking at the people who are getting in touch with her, especially the new immigrants from Pakistan, from India, from those South Asian countries, and people in sales fields. So, Nicole, I want you to take another question. I want you
Mhm.
to on the impact of LinkedIn. Do you think that a new immigrant should focus on LinkedIn before coming to Canada? Or, if they didn't know about LinkedIn, then now is the right time to start doing LinkedIn.
Again, it's tricky, and it's funny you mentioned LinkedIn, because I do get quite a few messages for, like, requesting help. Like, what do I do? Can you help me with work? I've referred recruiting agencies to a few people via LinkedIn. So it's funny you say that. Um, my take, it's a hit and miss, because LinkedIn's great, but you have to use it a certain way, right? And they're going to assess, anyone who reads those messages are going to look at the way an individual is communicating. How are they asking? How are they following up? Are they, I've had, people from different regions say, so are we going to work together yet? Like if you're polite to them, they think, oh, well, that means now. You know how many times I've been through that? Well, it's like, oh, I communicated with someone. Great. But that doesn't mean we're going to act now. But in their mind, it's like, oh, wow, you communicated with me. You're going to give me something. So it's understanding that it doesn't work that way. It's understanding that it takes time. Yes, you can get on LinkedIn. It doesn't hurt, but it won't help if you're not doing it the right way.
Yeah, so the emphasis is doing it the right way. I mean, producing content on LinkedIn without any aim, without any direction, it would be useless. Just sending a connection request to the people, it could be useless. So,
Mhm.
thank you so much for your opinion. And Nicole, your company, Prospect to Win, you are
Mhm.
in sales consulting, and you have provided sales training to different corporates, different companies. So,
Mhm.
how do you see young and energetic people who are coming into B2B sales specifically? Are they thinking about bringing any change to the Canadian job market? Or I mean, when a new immigrant comes, then the general perception is that he or she will bring some certain set of skills from back home, and they'll implement that, integrate that into the Canadian job market. Does that happen, or do they keep on struggling with the language barrier and the stuff like that?
I hate to say it, but the language barrier is really a big one. That's a big one. So instead of thinking about what they can bring in, I would say focus on personality, right? That's what people like. They like personality. They like friendliness, warmth. That's what they respond to. Again, well, let's break it down. Women like that. Men are more practical in certain senses, more logical in certain senses, but it's still really good to have, again, back to the communication and back to how you present yourself, really take the time to get those interview skills intact. That is more powerful, I think, than all the other stuff when you're coming into Canada.
Yeah. So since you've been giving a woman's perspective about personality, so let me add to that. Um, I mean, in B2B business, I
Mhm.
would only consider working with somebody who I trust.
Yes.
So trust is only built with a good personality. So, for example, if the person does not lie, if the person delivers what he always says, if a person always does what is expected to do, not below that, then that builds trust and that builds a relationship. And in B2B sales, it is very important. So, Nicole, last question. Your prospect to win. Do you have any plans in your mind where you can integrate that sales training for the corporates into providing trainings for the newcomers? I mean, for people like me, for people who are newly immigrating to Canada, can you develop a program for them where you can train them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I could look at, who they are, what their background is, what they want, where they want to go, and gear a program to that, where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are. It's really doing an assessment on where they're at and where they want to be.
And funny thing, I should tell you, I mean, if you are going into that, if you're getting into that, then you should be careful about it, because we come from places where all the career advice we need is to fix up our resume.
Okay.
I mean, if we see career advice, we ask the person to fix the resume. I mean, the things that you just mentioned, thinking about what I would want to do, what my aspirations are, what my objectives are. That's nothing for us. I mean, years out. So people will come to you and they'll say that, can you fix my resume? Can you look at my resume? That's important. But as you said, interview skills, communication skills,
And
these are the skills.
it's funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you there. I just had to say this. On LinkedIn, I've had individuals do just that. Can you review my resume? Can you, tweak this? Can you check this out? They're more interested in that. And it's a really, really, really good point that you made. And I didn't even make that connection until you just said that. So you're right. That's not how it is. It's not the only thing here. It's your personality. Or else it's like a numbers game. Well, a recruiter or someone in HR might look at that resume and just toss it, even though
Yeah,
it's good stuff, right? There has to be more than that resume. There has to be a phone call. There has to be communication. There has to be a personality behind the resume, basically.
exactly. Thank you so much, Nicole. Today, you have, I mean, given me time, given my channel's viewers times, and I hope that this video will be live on your channel as well when once we share the recordings. Thank you so much for being here, and on behalf of all the new immigrants, we want you to start that. The training for us so that there could be a program where we could learn these things, the soft skills, the communication skills, and how to get into sales business properly. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for your time again. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.